Wow. Mischief managed. It's that time of the year again. It's getting rainier, it's getting cozy, and I'm feeling nostalgic, which can only mean one thing. It's time for my Harry Potter reread. I think every single reader has that one series that just feels like home to them. That's just everything in their heart. For me, that series is Harry Potter, probably like so many of you guys as well. I cannot explain how much this universe means to me, both the books and the movies honestly, but especially the books. Like clockwork, every single year the urge to reread and rewatch Harry Potter just hits me like a ton of bricks. And my Hogwarts nostalgia can hit literally whenever. It could be summer, it could be winter, I could be in Australia, I could be in India, but one thing's for sure, like a siren to a ship, it will call my name at some point in every single year. I did a quick little check on Goodreads and I found some horrifying information. I actually have not read the entire series since 2022. So I am planning on making my way through this series for the next couple of months. And I say the next couple of months because obviously there's other new releases coming out and I'm a big mood reader. So if I want a beachy little romance, that's what I'm gonna read. But rest assured, by June or July, we will be done with the reread. I've actually been patiently waiting to make this video because something really interesting came on my doorstep like literally last week. Look at that, it's on theme. So I've been saving it for this video. Like I said, my Harry Potter nostalgia was hitting really hard for the last like month or so. As much as I wait. Oh, I love this packaging. I might hold on to this packaging actually. Anyway, where was I? As much as I've tried to kind of like stifle it with reading fanfic and stuff, it doesn't feel the same. You know exactly what this is. I went and got myself a Weasley sweater. Happy Christmas, Harry. Happy Christmas, Ron. Oh, it's perfect. Wow. Okay. I'm actually beside myself. This is one of the cutest things I've ever seen. And if you are looking at getting it, it is this like, it's a burgundy but like a brown. It's very brown, which is good because dark brown and burgundy are actually my favorite colors. So this is like a little mashup of my favorite things. All right, well now that I've got my sweater on, I think it's time we prepare for this reread. We're gonna make some coffee, come with me. I found this random mug which I'd actually been using for the past few years to hold my bookmarks. But what do you know, it's perfectly on theme. This is a heat changing mug. It's just had a lot of sun exposure so the like layer underneath is showing, and when you pour a hot liquid in there, it's supposed to reveal the entire Marauders map. Like a little mischief managed inside. We can all agree that hot coffee is already such a cozy little drink, but you know what makes it cozier? Here's my little secret. You add in cinnamon, but it makes it just 100 times better. A bit of cinnamon, a bit of sugar. This is the moment of truth. We're gonna see whether it still works as well as it used to. Oh my god, I can see it from the back. Look at that. Oh my god. The next goal is to make this room as cozy as possible so that I can read book. Someone needs to explain to me why I'm tearing up over a children's book. I'm this far in. Harry hasn't even gone to Hogwarts. He just got his letter, but he was describing the Hogwarts crest and I started tearing up. I feel like it's just because it's been such a long time since I've read it that I'm kind of like, oh my god. I was at the part where Harry gets his letter and he says, his heart twanged like a giant elastic band. No one ever in his whole life had written to him. Who would? He had no friends, no other relatives, he didn't even belong to the library, so he'd never got a rude note asking for his book back. My Shayla! Like the fact this tiny little child, there's just no one in his corner. He turned out pretty well adjusted for someone who had a life like this. And it's like, in my mind, I know everything that's about to happen to him. I know the sort of life he's gonna have, and I'm like, oh. Good morning. Last night I finished Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and I started the Chamber of Secrets and I'm just up to there now. The Weasleys have just broken Harry out of Privet Drive and taken him to the Burrow. Of course, I'll be making my way through that book today. This is actually my least read Harry Potter book, as you can tell, because there's only one crease on the spine as opposed to like 600 on my other books. But nonetheless, I'm excited to get back into it. I also started having a little craving last night. I want butterbeer. I know I said it was getting rainier in Sydney, which it is. It's raining right now, but it is still extremely hot. So I want a little bit of a cool drink and butterbeer would be perfect, honestly. I have been to the Warner Brothers studio tour in London twice, and I've been to the Wizarding World at Universal Studios in Los Angeles once. I know what butterbeer tastes like. I've had it in every single form possible, multiple times. However, I am Australian. We don't have butterbeer here. We don't have any sort of Harry Potter attractions here. So I went to the store this morning and tried to pick up a couple of ingredients so that we could make butterbeer at home. The recipe I'm using is actually surprisingly simple, so this might be easier than I'd hoped. The first thing we're gonna need is creaming soda, and obviously this already has that kind of buttery taste because of the cream, and then a bit of heavy whipping cream, and this is just to top the butterbeer off with. That's like not actually necessary at all. And then it called for caramel extract and butter extract. I don't know where on earth you're supposed to buy those, but you cannot find it in grocery stores in Australia. Like, you'd have to order it through Amazon, which I don't have time for that. So I got caramel syrup, which just means I'll have to add a little bit more. And then for the butter extract, I've never heard of butter extract in my life, and clearly the rest of the country hasn't heard of it either because it was available nowhere. But I asked Google and they said you can use clarified butter or ghee instead because it has that same like sweet buttery taste. Thankfully, I'm Indian, so of course I have ghee at home. I'm just gonna pop that one in as well. As far as recipes go, this might be the simplest one ever. I'm just gonna pour all of the creaming soda into this jug. The recipe asks for 1/4 teaspoon of this, but I'm actually gonna put in like 1 teaspoon because obviously caramel syrup is gonna be a lot less concentrated than caramel extract. Clarified butter, just a spoon. Once that's in the fridge, we just need to whip the cream. It's time to test this out. This has been chilling for around half an hour. If you do intend on making this recipe, do not use clarified butter. That's something I learned today. It congeals at the top and you have to like scrape it off with a spoon. It's very annoying, but thankfully it didn't like ruin it or anything. Not bad. I wouldn't say it's bad at all. It actually looks pretty accurate to the ones I've bought. Oh my god. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 in terms of accuracy. It is very good, don't get me wrong. But there is some sort of like crispy flavor that is in the real ones that is not in this. But nonetheless, that is so good. I've got my book, I've got my butterbeer, and now I'm just gonna sit here, relax, and hopefully finish Chamber of Secrets today. I really have forgotten how funny the books are, because don't get me wrong, the movies are good, but this is hilarious. I just got to the part where it's Valentine's Day and this dwarf dressed as Cupid is like loudly singing Harry Potter, his Valentine's Day musical. I'm currently at page 256 out of 365, so I'm about to finish this in the next hour or so. I'm not used to reading books that are so short. Like, the first 2 or 3 books of this series are tiny, which is why I'm speeding through them. It usually takes me a lot longer than a day to read a book, so once we get to Goblet of Fire, I definitely won't be smashing out a book a day. These are also just so easy to get through. I'm having a lot of fun. Needless to say, I finished Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets last night, which means I'm currently onto The Prisoner of Azkaban, which is my favourite movie in the whole set. As for the book, it is definitely up there as one of my favourites as well. Not very far in at all. It's Harry's birthday, Aunt Marge is about to arrive, but I was feeling suspiciously creative today. And then I remembered this one thing I have this random canvas which I painted, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like a blue-black. And I did that like 3 years ago and I just haven't touched it since. But now that I'm on a Harry Potter kick, this could actually be something. I used to love to paint, and so I'm thinking we turn this into a little Harry Potter themed thing. And I have 2 ideas on my phone. I'm gonna put them on the screen. The first is Harry's Patronus, the stag. I think it would work just like a little glowy white stag Patronus on this. That's the easy option. I say easy, but I don't actually know how to draw a stag. And then the second option is this one. Definitely a little more ambitious, but a hell of a lot prettier. I really am leaning towards this one. I think it's very doable because if this is the canvas, this can be the lake, and then we can have some cliffs here, and then the Hogwarts castle and the moon up there and all those little boats. I think it's actually very doable, and I want to start doing that today. And I think, why not listen to the audiobook while I do this? I haven't listened to the Harry Potter audiobooks before, but I know they're narrated by Stephen Fry. Let's paint and listen. Really my idea of a perfect day. I ran into a bit of a snag, which is that I don't actually have white paint. I need white paint to do the rest of it, to do the castle, to do the like reflections of the boats on the water, to do the moon. So I'm going to put this on hold for now. I've got you here. This is something I've wanted to do for a while. My wand is currently on my bookshelf, but I would kind of like for it to sit here. Like here, this would be good. Alright, let's take a look. That's way better. It was kind of annoying me on my bookshelf. It's a little bit later in the day and I'm currently 40% of the way through. It's 6 p.m. right now. Hopefully we get halfway through by the end of the day, and I forgot just how good this book is. Like the plot, the writing's improving, the story's improving. Oh, this also happens to be my favorite movie, and especially like being introduced to the Marauders, for instance. Remember when I said I wanted to finish half of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban last night? Well, look at that. We are way past the halfway mark. In fact, I think I have just over 100 pages left until I finish the entire book, which means we are guaranteed to have gone through 3 books in this video, which is wild to me. But then again, they are Harry Potter books. I know them practically off by heart at this point. As you can see, I'm back in my kitchen, which can only mean one thing. It's time for us to make something else. We are making a drink again because I frankly don't have the talent or the willpower to make food. Aside from butterbeer, there is one other drink that is constantly mentioned in the Wizarding world, and that is pumpkin juice. My friends and I have been talking, and we honestly don't see any way that pumpkin juice could genuinely taste good. I mean, it's a pumpkin. Like, the idea of that being a juice just doesn't sound good to me at all. So I've decided to make it. Even though I have been to a bunch of Harry Potter attractions, I have not tried pumpkin juice yet, and I'm very excited to see what all the fictional hype is about. It's been really hot for the past few days, and they keep talking about ice cold jugs of pumpkin juice, and I was just craving that, honestly. I'm making quite a lot because my parents are also fans of Harry Potter, and I want them to be able to try this as well because we're all curious. We've all seen it. We all think it's going to taste horrible, so I will be saving a little for them as well. Much like the butterbeer, this is a very simple recipe, thank God. We need 2 liters of apple juice or apple cider, then 8 ounces or a cup of pumpkin puree. I pureed this morning. That's actually quite a lot. If we have leftovers, we could literally make pumpkin pasties, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm not that good of a cook. And then half a cup of sugar. They do say to split it between white sugar and brown sugar, though I don't have brown sugar. 1 teaspoon of pumpkin spice. I made this pumpkin spice. I believe it was cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, ginger. So pretty simple to make because I'm not American. We don't get pumpkin spice in stores. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract as well. And now it's starting to make sense why pumpkin juice might taste good. It has all this like extra spice and flavoring to it. And they say you have to combine all the ingredients in a large pitcher and stir well. Though given that we have pumpkin puree and pumpkin spice, I'm actually going to pop it all into a blender as well as the sugar. Like everything needs to mix together properly. So I'm going to use a blender for this. I've popped the pumpkin juice in the fridge. I'm just gonna leave that to chill for maybe like half an hour to an hour. In the meantime, let's read. I finished, and what a book it was. I can really see this as like the turning point for the story getting better and better. Of course, it only really gets dark at the end of Goblet of Fire, but What a book. We're on to bigger and better things. And when I say bigger, I mean bigger. Goblet of Fire is up next. I will be studying that today. The weather outside is surprisingly nice and cool while also being sunny. So I was opening up the doors so we could drink pumpkin juice outside. And the postman dropped by. He handed me this parcel, which is from HarperCollins or Harlequin, so like the imprint. And at the very same time I got an email telling me my request for Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez is approved. So I can read Say You Remember Me, and I can read whatever this book is. We're about to find out. Yes, I've been waiting for this. 6 Days in Bombay by Alka Joshi, and she wrote the henna artist. So I'm pretty sure there's some sort of mystery. Yeah, a mystery behind a famous painter's death. And look how stunning that cover is. I'm very excited to read this. Love me a mystery, especially when it has my culture in it. And I actually do have a mini shelf full of like Indian inspired mystery books, so that will be added to that shelf. And then I have to send Say You'll Remember Me to my Kindle. I'm so excited. Thank you so much to HarperCollins and Hachette for those books. And with all that done, I think it's time we test out this pumpkin juice. It actually looks and smells really good. I can smell the cinnamon coming off it. I'm so happy. I'm about to experience pumpkin juice for the first time. Oh, no wonder they're obsessed with it. It kind of tastes like a liquid apple pie. That's probably the best way to put it. The cinnamon, the cloves, like it's so good, so spicy, so strong. No wonder the Wizarding World is obsessed. I say this pretty much every vlog, and I'm really thankful I get to say it every vlog. But this is really the best day ever. A little update before I go to bed. It's currently 9 p.m. and I'm right here. I have 250 pages left. I'm planning on reading for 1 more hour probably, so that'll probably be down to 150 for tomorrow. It's 8 a.m. I just finished. Guys, happy Friday everyone. I just finished Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire this morning. I woke up extra early just to get it done. I only had 150 pages left after I read until like 11 p.m. last night. Oh my god. This was so unbelievably good. 800 pages long, which it covers so much more than what was shown in the movies. And there is so much that happens. So much that I'd forgotten the exact details of. In the last like 2 or 3 chapters, it is firmly established the story's about to get so unbelievably dark. I honestly could not be more excited to read the rest of the book. I feel like I'm back home, and I've felt that way this entire week. I am actually going to take a brief pause from the Harry Potter series. I do have these 3 books left to read, and I'm very excited to get around to that. But for now, I have a bunch of new releases and arcs that I badly want to get around to. Stay tuned for that video, by the way. But we still have a full day of Harry Potter week left, and I feel like watching a movie. I think I said this at the start of the video, but I have actually been working my way through the movies since I think about January. I'm currently up to Order of the Phoenix. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is not my favorite movie, but it is actually my favorite book. It is the next book on the line, and it's also the movie that we're gonna watch today. Needless to say, you all know that if you watch a Harry Potter movie, it has to be the coziest thing in the world. So we're gonna make this the coziest little movie spot, and then I'm gonna finish off Friday by watching Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I'm currently around about 1 hour into the movie. I keep on pausing it and rewinding because there's, I don't know, a lot I'm thinking about, especially since I just finished reading the first 4 books. I am going to continue watching it while I eat my lunch. I can already tell when I reread Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, there is going to be so much in there that is not in this movie. They did their best with the adaptation, it's so good, but like there's a lot that's going to be happening in that book that's not here right now. Well, that's it. I finished the movie, which means that this video is at its end. This is legitimately the most fun I think I've ever had filming a YouTube video. This was one of the best weeks, hands down. I'm so happy that I get to call these books or these movies or any of these random fictional worlds that I talk about home. This is the most nostalgic week ever. I had the time of my life. Can't wait to read the rest of the books. I will be doing that next month, maybe. But until then, I have a really fun TBR stacked up ahead of me, so that will be in the next video. And with that, I'll see you next week.